Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Laura, and today's video that we've got is another pick a card reading, but this one is about messages from your ancestors and sort of like spirit guides and that sort of thing. So what they're trying to tell you, what messages they want to send through to you. So we've got pile number 1, the Knight of Cups, pile number 2 with the Seven of Wands, and pile number 3 with the Six of Swords. So if you pick a pile now, I'll put the little timestamps down in the description box and you can click on those to get straight to the pile you've picked, and we'll see what your ancestors have got to say for you and what advice they want to give you and the sort of like messages they want to send you right now about what's going on in your life. Okay, right, and we'll do some tarot and we'll do some other oracle cards and see what comes through. So pick a pile now and we'll see what your ancestors and spirit team have got to say to you and what advice they have. Okay, right, pick a pile now and I'll see you in a second. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, let's put pile number 2 over here, pile number 3 over here, and pile number 1 here. Right, let me move that down, put that up there, move that up a little bit. Okay. Hello, pile number 1s. If you pick the Knight of Cups or pile number 1, then this is your pile. So today we're going to do a pick card reading is on what your ancestors have got to say in terms of advice and messages for you. So if you pick this card, we've got here the Knight of Cups. Let me try and show you better. Close up. Here we go. This is from the Ethereal Illuminations, I think, tarot. If you watched any of my previous videos from last week, you'll hear me butcher the pronunciation of that, but this is the Knight of Cups and we've got this gold foil around the sort of picture of it. Okay, so the Knight of Cups is a card that talks all about in like messages of love and messages of creativity and messages of like feelings and yeah, just a lot of love coming in. So I think the main message from your ancestors first of all is a lot of love coming in. They're sending you a lot of love and they're reminding you of their love they used to give to you when they were here. So I've already shuffled an oracle card out for some guidance, so we'll use this one first, and it says Origins, remember your roots. So you're being reminded by your ancestors to remember where you came from and remember your family and remember sort of traditions you've been maybe avoiding recently, but remember those origins because they'll help you ground and find a better sort of like tradition set up for yourself going forward. So remember that and like remember the love you had from these family members. So I've also got some oracle cards how you might recognize who this ancestor is. So the one I pre-shuffled was you might recognize me as someone who had dimples, and I want to shuffle some more. Okay, how else can my pile number 1s recognize this person, this ancestor that's sending this message? Glasses. Let's see what else we've got for you, pile 1. How else might my pile number 1s recognize this person? How else? Okay, we've got brown eyes. So this person, this ancestor who's coming through here might have had brown eyes, or you might. We've got pessimistic and serious. I think we'll get one more. How else can pile number 1 recognize them? Oh, a whole load came out. We'll take all of them though. Okay, let's put these here. We've got medical job, boring, military job. Let's move these up a bit. Cheekbones, Spain, Portugal, country not listed in these cards, and long hair. Okay, so these could be any of the ways you recognize them, or this might be like you. Any of these cards could represent you or them, and that's how you'll know that this is the right messages for you today. Okay, let's get some tarot cards and see if we can get anything else out here. We'll start off with the ethereal tarot. Sorry, my cards are just flown everywhere over here, sort of flowing out. Okay, what can you tell? What is this message from Part of One's ancestors? We've got the Magician. Okay, the Magician card is a card, one about creativity, but it's also about holding all the power, sort of all the tools within yourself. So you could be starting to learn about manifestation, or your ancestors could be reminding you about your origins in terms of how manifestation works within your family and how, what sort of like techniques you can use. And also reminding you, like, go back to your origins, you've got this sort of like power within you and you are loved from well beyond people that are currently living with us. What else can pile number one? Let me just pick those cards up. It's not a it's not a tarot reading with me if I haven't dropped the cards on the floor. Let me grab those. Okay, we've got the Hermit and Justice. A lot of major arcana cards here for you, my pile number one. So we've got the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is a card that represents like going within and doing a lot of inner reflection with yourself and sort of finding that sort of spiritual, not knowledge, but whatever you believe in within. So I think definitely your ancestors telling you to do some sort of withdraw yourself from a lot of social sort of situations or from certain people and look within and sort of find your own pathway or find this version of yourself, because you've got the guy, the hermit guy here, holding a lantern up to this sort of card here. So it kind of looks like it's saying like go into solitude and go within and find this version of you. And then we've got the Justice card. And the Justice card is another major arcana card, but this one, it represents a more, well, it can represent legal sort of thing. So maybe it's telling you to, beware legally, but it can also remind you that when you're making decisions to try and make sure you're like looking at all the information you've got in a balanced sort of way, so you're not leaning too far onto one side. What else can we think about? The Justice card. It could even just be that your ancestors are reminding you about decisions that need to be made. You're forgetting something, or you're not allowing yourself to look towards something that you're avoiding. Let's see if we can get anything else for you, part one. What else can part one's ancestors? What do they need to tell them? What message do they need to hear? Let's have a look. Let me have a look here. Part one. What are we? Anything else from these? I think I want one more card from these. And then we'll get the other tarot cards I've got as well. Anything else for part number one? Ah, there we go. Right, we've got two cards there. So let's put these here. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Swords. Okay, that's an interesting pairing. So I'm going to leave them together because I think they're meant to come out together and maybe represent something together. So we've got the Queen of Cups covering the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is like, it's sort of like a death card, like an ending card, but a more painful version of our traditional ending cards. It could mean maybe an old version of you. Your ancestors are sort of telling you that an old version of yourself has gone and ended. It could be it's been like, let's find out what that ending was. Let me have a look. Let me find another card. I can't grab the card. That's very annoying. This card obviously wants to come out. I didn't turn over the bottom of the deck, so the Hierophant. Okay. Maybe not. I'm not really sure actually. I don't really feel. I'm not feeling that right. What's this ending that's happened here? It could be with the Queen of Cups. It could be an emotional ending. I like to think it's more like a part of your persona, maybe that's ceased to continue on. Let's have a look. There's too many cards. It's some sort of part of you that's Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so something you've worked hard to end, some part of yourself or situation you've worked really hard to end and sort of continue on from, in keeping this Queen of Cups sort of energy as well. So you're remaining sort of like not just graceful, but just keeping your intuition and being that sort of like emotional, but in a good sense. You've kept that despite this sort of ending that could have ended in a betrayal, because sometimes the Ten of Swords can represent some sort of betrayal ending, and you've managed to keep that version of yourself, this nice light feminine version of yourself, through a lot of hard work. I'm seeing as well, because with the Knight of Pentacles, that can that often represents a really like slow moving card. Although that all knights are action cards, this is one of the more slower moving action cards. So it's an ending that's come through, and you've practically had to get through something, a situation, but remaining in that Queen of Cups version of yourself as well. Okay, let's get some more. Let's get a different tarot card. These ones can give us some different messages, I reckon. What is the so we've got what was that? Yeah, and the Knight of Pentacles is coming out again with the King of Cups this time, and the Death card. So there's definitely been some sort of ending your ancestors have been trying to send you a message about here. It's some sort of like death that's happened in your life. It doesn't have to be a literal death. This could be a recently like departed loved one, but I think this is more of like a symbolic death in your life. Something's happened, something's changed. It could be. It does feel like it's more of this like cups sort of side of you, some sort of emotional part of you has had to sort of die off to proceed on, because you've got this Knight of Pentacles here, which is a practical and really kind of hardworking and like committed sort of knight that's had to work through all this. So your ancestors are reminding you about all the hard work you've gone through to get to this version of yourself. Right, I've just dropped the cards again. Let me pick them up. Right, there we go. Okay, and then we've got the Ace of Wands, which is about new beginnings, followed by the Six of Wands, which is a card of successes and public recognition, and then the Knight of Wands, which is like a very energetic and like adventurous and passionate sort of knight. So a lot of energy there. I think that your ancestors are sending you a message here to remind you that whatever has ended here that may have hurt your feelings a bit, and you're going to know intuitively what this is about. You've worked really hard to get through, but it's this what you've gone through has helped this new beginning sort of come into action, which you're going to be successful with, and you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of like, it's going to be not hard work, but more sort of like a fun sort of work with the Knight of Wands there. Let's see what else they want to say. Okay, then you've got the Five of Wands, which is conflict, disagreements, love. So this ending might have been the ending of a relationship or some sort of love situation that your ancestors sort of supporting you within. They're on your side, and they're sending you lots of love and kind of helping it speed along this ending. They're kind of helping it happen a bit, showing you sort of things. Yeah, it's coming to completion, whatever this situation was. If it's a love situation, it's run its course, and your ancestors are sort of there on your side, watching this you go through this, knowing that a better thing is going to come through it. Okay, what about this new sort of beginning over here? What can you tell us about that? Okay, you got the Ten of Wands again with the Queen of Wands, Ten of Swords again with the Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords. So this ending could have been a relationship between you and this person. So be it you're the King of Swords or the Queen of Wands, that relationship has ended, and that's what's leading to this. Yeah, and you're moving on. You've got the Eight of Cups, which is a card of moving on, leaving some things behind that are no longer working. And then you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is about manifestation and using your ambitions and moving on to something you're more not enlivened with, but sort of something you're more enthusiastic about and you're going to enjoy more, which is definitely worth it, leaving a relationship like that. Okay, let's see what else we can see for you here. Okay, your ancestors are also telling you to look at this situation, what this ending and the future from a new perspective. Take a moment to pause and reflect on everything that's changed, but look at how much hard work's gone into it. Don't just write yourself off as having this bad thing happen. Focus on what the future and also the present, if that makes sense. Okay, and you got the Six of Cups. Yeah, like Six of Cups is about nostalgia, childhood, past memories. I think they're like reminding you to look back at your memories, and use those to sort of lean on for the time being. Because although it's a tough time, remember this ancestor was there, and they're still there, and they're still hanging around for you, in the sense they're there to support you a bit while all this is going on, watching over you in a way. Okay, let's get some practical oracle cards here. Okay, what can we have for part number one? What advice can we have from their ancestors? Okay, well, take a vacation. Take time to escape all of your life obligations to recharge yourself. Okay, so your ancestors telling you to take a break. After all this ending, I think it's definitely worth time to take a break. And it's just open up. You're being asked to open your heart to another, to let down your walls, and to trust that they want what's best for you. Your life will open up in wonderful ways once you decide to open up. I think these cards are written so hard to read in terms of they just don't make sense most of the time. I'm fairly sure they used AI for them, but anyway, I bought these a long time ago. Yeah, I think you definitely have a vacation, and not. I don't think it means open up to start a new relationship with someone new. I think it's more open up to maybe friends and family, or open up to the possibility that this future exists where it's much happier and better for you. What else? What other advice can your ancestors provide you with part one? What other practical advice do they want to send you part one? I think their main advice for you is take a holiday, open up, take a break. I don't think there's anything else they want to say to you about that. Okay. Yeah. And then the last one will be sleep and rest. So take some time out, have a sleep, rest up. I think as you've gone for a really tough time. So I think rushing in and like starting off something new, maybe a business relationship or whatever, it will just completely knock you out. So you must take some time out to rest and have, like it says here, let your body have the peace it deserves without feeling guilty. Yeah, don't feel guilty for taking this holiday, and just really relax and enjoy some time away from all these things, these problems that have been going on for you, part one. You deserve it. You definitely deserve a little break here from all of this. I don't think I have any other cards for you, because it seems like fairly straightforward. Something's ended that's kind of taken its toll on you, and it looks like it was a relationship or something. It could even be a friendship or something. And now you're being asked to focus on the present and use the memories of this ancestor, whoever this was, which obviously was a lot of happy memories you have with them, and use those to sort of restore yourself a bit and build yourself back up again, and then move forward whatever this new situation is coming into being. Okay, part number one, I hope that was useful for you. Let me know down in the comments, and like this video if you like it, and if you want to see any more like this, and subscribe to my channel, and you'll see lots and lots of different pick cards that I usually bring out on a Friday. Okay, thank you for watching. It was nice seeing you all again. Okay, thank you. Right, bye bye. Hello. There, my hands are. Hello, and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. If you pick the 7 of Wands or just pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Okay, right. today we're going to look at what sort of messages your ancestors have for you, what they're trying to send through to you. And we're going to look at your card first. So the card that you got, let me bring it up here so you can see the picture better. Okay, the card you got was the Seven of Wands. Okay, the Seven of Wands card is a card about like being determined in the defending of sort of your own territory, and not being on guard, but just being like ready for action and fighting things off. Okay, let's put you there. Okay, so what this might mean in terms of what your ancestors are trying to tell you is that your ancestors are trying to tell you that you are currently or going to be going through some sort of challenge or struggle or something. That this might not be like a literal fight. This could just be you're going through some trouble at work, or you're having to be a bit more defensive, maybe around certain people that you're having like arguments with, and they're sort of sending you support on that sort of side of things. Okay, so I already pulled these cards that had these sort of like shuffled out already, but we're gonna get some more tarot and some more of these like oracle card style ones for advice and sort of what they're trying to say. Okay, so the first one is music. There is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. So maybe something you're being advised to do here by your ancestors is sort of listen to music to relax yourself, or work with, I don't know what you could be working with music, but that could be relevant to your job or your situation. Okay, and these are the cards how you might recognize this person. So this ancestor that's coming through, you've got lazy, fat build, educated, bookish. Okay, get some more now as well. This could be you or it could be them, so that's how you're being told to you'll recognize them or yourself in this to be the right message for you. Okay, what other ones have we got? Pile 2, how will they recognize this ancestor that's coming through? Okay, we've got traveler, we've got entrepreneur, job, manipulative, gaslighting, we've got interesting. Let's get like one or two more. Denmark, they could be from there or lived there or holidayed there that you know of. What else have we got? You haven't met before, so this could be an ancestor that you didn't actually ever get to meet. They could have been from before your time, so they died a bit before you. Bald, no hair. So this could be someone from your like family, or who's in your sort of like spirit guide team, is someone you haven't actually managed to meet in this life. So they're coming through, helping you out. Anyway, okay, let's get my tarot cards. They're all hooked onto each other for some reason, which is really annoying. Okay, right. What is Pile 2's ancestors trying to tell them? Let's get some more information on this. What's Pile 2's ancestors trying to tell them? What sort of messages are they trying to send through? Okay. We have got Chariot, Temperance, the Seven of Swords, another 7. Let's see what else we're going to get. Okay, the King of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Move these up here. 8 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. Let's try and get one more card and then I'll see what we can explain through this. What is pile number 2's ancestors trying to tell them? Okay, the Ace of Swords and the Lovers. Okay, let me make sure everything's still in focus. Okay, good, it is. Right, so you've got a few different like major arcana cards coming through, which is interesting, and it will help us a bit more when we're looking at what exactly they're trying to say. So we've got, firstly, to start off with, we've got the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot, for me, it represents like fast movement towards a destination or some sort of a competition. And it could just here represent your like control and willpower over a certain set of circumstances that you've got yourself, like you're in control of this situation. I think that's definitely what it is. And seeing the Seven of Wands cards here as well, this person is totally in control. So I think your ancestors telling you whatever's happening, you're totally in control of it, and like you're not, it's not something you need to worry about. You're not in a situation where everything's like, you know, stressful and you're needing their guidance. I think they're very clear that they know, you know what you're doing, and you know how to succeed as well. That's another thing that's kind of true. Definitely they know that you know what to do. And having the Temperance card follow that as well, the only advice I think they're sending over at the minute is you need to find a little bit more harmony between either like your work-life balance, maybe you're like pouring too much into work, or maybe your emotions, something is currently out of balance and it needs to be pulled back into moderation, because you are in control, and that is like something you need to remember, is you are totally in control of this situation. And yeah, I mean, you've got the Seven of Swords after that, which is, it can sometimes mean that you're like, there's a betrayal like happening behind the scenes you're not aware of, or it's advice to not be deceptive, but just sort of maybe do some like sneaky sidestepping behind the scenes to sort of like make sure you come out okay of the situation. I think that's definitely something there you're being told to do. Like you've got this defensive card here, like, you know, be careful. You're defending against betrayal, but also start making some moves that is going to prevent you being totally in a bad situation when this situation is over. And to be followed by the King of Pentacles. Now, this could represent the ancestors coming through. So, from the original like brown cards we did, you recognize the person as being someone who is like a manager, someone who is very wealthy and kind of in control of their affairs. If that's who is coming through, is the ancestor, then this is another confirmation of that. Or it could mean that you're being told to be careful around this King of Pentacles that's coming through. Maybe this is the person you've got your conflict with and you're having to sort of like be a bit sneaky around. But definitely let me know down in the comments if this is the ancestor that's coming through or the person you're having to be careful of. And then we've got the Four of Cups. Now, Four of Cups is a card that can sort of mean you're withdrawing yourself from either a situation or a person, and it's kind of leading you to look like you're kind of apathetic as to what's happening in your life. And I think it's more, because to me this card looks like someone meditating in this situation now. I think you're very calm over this situation despite everything that's happening. You're very relaxed, and you're not letting things distract you. You're focused on what you have here, and you're not letting any distractions or sort of like too good to be true scenarios coming in. Then we've got the Eight of Wands. Now, for it as an advice card, the Eight of Wands is like, to me, I find it as an action card. But I think this, as a message from your ancestors, is telling you that change is on the way. Things are going to change, and it's going to like get better. Because straight after this, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, which obviously is a card of like, well, I say obviously, but you know, for me, it's obvious. That's what it means. But it's the Ten of Pentacles is a card of like family life going well, and a wealth achievement. Like it could literally mean this is the person that we're the ancestor here talking to you. Maybe they had a dog. Maybe this is how you're going to recognize who this person is. But I think this change, all your hard work you're putting in and being careful, is going to lead to this quick change into a situation where you are in a better position, and you're sort of like at the moment grabbing the sword by the blade. I mean, that has never caught my eye before, but sitting here reading this for you, I think you're like grabbing this situation by the like difficult part of it that's come through, and you're extremely focused on like succeeding and winning in this situation, which is going to help benefit you as the situation continues. Okay, let's get some different tarot. Let's get this tarot. Oh, and the Lover's card here that was on the bottom of the deck. I think you're going to have to make a tough choice, but it'll be the right choice. And that's definitely something that's coming through. It's a choice you're making and you're sticking with and you're focusing on. Okay. yeah, again, you got this card here, which is the Two of Swords, and that's about difficult decisions and having to sort of like, you can't just sit and ignore the situation anymore. You're having to make a decision to move forward. And then with the Ten of Cups, that's happiness, that's joy, that's like the best outcome, it's completion of a situation, which is leading to this perfect outcome. Again, we've got the Ten of Swords. I say again, but that came up in the part before. But I think this choice is, you're either going to have like Ten of Cups situation, Ten of Swords situation. Regardless of what's happening, the ending is going to come to this situation and you're going to be through it. And your ancestors are sort of saying it's going to end regardless of what happens, what the outcome is. What else? Okay, we've got the Five of Swords, which is conflict, and we already know that. And Temperance has come out again. So I think, although you've got this argument, sort of like conflict style situation happening, you're being reminded over and over again by your ancestors to sort of be that balanced person. Maybe you're someone who's quick to like get into a temper. I think you need to find some calm, learn to meditate, find some calm in this situation. Otherwise, it's going to easily overtake you and you may get in trouble. Okay. What else? The Emperor and the Devil. I think you are someone who's usually quite in control of everything and you're quite respected. You don't have to be a man. This doesn't have to represent you or someone. I think you are someone who's usually quite in control of situations. And I think this situation, I think is quite like the opposite of how you like things to be. I think you feel very oppressed, very like trapped. And I think that's why this situation is hitting such a nerve. And I think your ancestors are trying to remind you, like, you are in control. You've done well every other time. Yeah, and then we've got the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest moving knight. I think whatever's gonna the ending, the successful sort of victorious ending is gonna come through if you're very focused and you work hard on getting to the end of it. And then with the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in. That's what it says on here anyway. I think maybe this is your ancestors sort of looking onwards on your life and sort of keeping watch, because you even got the Page of Swords here. I think these are more of a situation where your ancestors are watching over you, watching this situation unfold, because they know you're more than capable of making it through it. They're not worried about, you know, you needing loads and loads of help to get through it. Yeah, and I mean, you got the Three of Cups, which is like a successful outcome and celebration. I think they are cheering you on, definitely, at the sidelines of this situation that's happening. They're up there cheering you on and wishing you all the best and sending little bits of like encouragement. I think they're more of a person that's sending encouragement to you, because you don't really need like proper like advice, if that makes sense. Then we've got the King of Wands, which is someone who is very charming. They're very in charge. I'm trying to think of a way to describe him. They're again another control and strength. And the strength card. I think this is you are someone who's very much in control of their life and very strong. You're not someone who is like weak and constantly seeking advice and needing advice in situations. I think that's what your ancestors are definitely trying to come through and tell you here. You don't need loads of advice. They're here just to cheer you on, I think, at the end of the day. Okay, let's get some final advice cards from your ancestors, some actual practical advice. What would part number one's actual advice from their ancestors be? I was going to say to your ancestors, so maybe you are that in control of situations. You feel like you should be the one giving advice. What? Let's get some advice for you. Validate your past. Oh, there's two here. So you did the best you could. Feel and empathize with your past, not judge it. So I think definitely you're now needing to sort of look at everything you've ever been through and sort of say to yourself, yeah, I did the best I could, and that's that. And then you've like that's clarified. Give less F's, and the happier you'll be. I think you care. You're someone who actually. I don't even think this is real proper advice to you, to be honest, because I think you already do this. You know what you've been through. You know what you've done, and you know you made the right decision with everything you've been given in life. It's not that you've got some like playbook where you can read the future and know exactly what the right decision is to make. And I think you just have learned to not really care about what people think of that, which is a really good stance to have on your life and a really good outlook to have as well. Okay, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. I hope it gave you the encouragement you need from your ancestors, and I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a like. Comment down below who this King of Pentacles person is, or comment down below just a, I don't know, a stick or something. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more pick a card readings, and let me know what other readings you want to see. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one. Okay, bye bye, pile number 2. Okay, let's put those there. That one there. That one here. That one here. That one here. And that one over here. Those here. Okay. That one there. And then let's put these over here like this. And put these here for number 3. Okay. That's pile number 3. Whoops. So I'll just move you down. Okay, hello and welcome to your reading pile number 3. If you picked pile number 3, or if you just picked the 6 of Swords, or you just watched all the way through to the end of the reading, this is your pile and this is your reading. This is your message from your ancestor. Okay, let's focus on the card. So you picked the 6 of Swords. Okay, so the 6 of Swords is a card that represents transitions and sort of moving on and moving forward, and kind of a bit like it's a card later on is sort of like moving on, because you know that's what's for the best for you. It's sort of finding that the solution to the situation is making a massive change and just completely moving away and moving on with your life. So already the first message coming through from your ancestors is move on, completely move on, or they're with you while you're moving on, or moving in general, because it could just be you're moving house or moving overseas, but some sort of like moving energy. Okay, I already shuffled and picked out a couple of cards already. So this is the advice you've got from your ancestors already. So we've got learn. Take a lesson from the owls. Deeply observe the night and you'll become a little wiser in the day. Okay. So that could mean that you're being asked to maybe take up a new sort of like not lesson, what am I thinking of? Like course, or maybe read certain books or something. Just learn something about yourself here. By this move, you should be learning something about yourself, or this transition in your life. You're learning something. Yeah. And maybe owls are very significant to you, or it's like some sort of maybe spirit guide or something to you. But whatever it is, this transition in your life will make you wiser. Okay, and I've got these cards here. They're going to represent how you're going to recognize this person, who it is. So you want to know them because they've got short hair. So let's get some more, because I think that could really not narrow it down by saying that. Right, how pile number 3 recognize who this ancestor is who's giving them advice. Okay, so this is a female. They have short hair. They're quite romantic and loving. They either lived in North Africa, or they've been to North Africa, or they're somehow associated to North Africa. Okay, what else? They have children. Okay. Tattoos. They could have them, or you have one of them, or one that reminds you of them. They've got brown hair. Let's get like one more card. And they were very messy, or they had that sort of messy personality trait where they sort of everything they did would always be messy. Okay, so that's how you're going to recognize them. So let's get some more messages from them. Okay, and make sure this is the right way up. We are, right. What is this message that Path 3's ancestors is trying to send over to them? What is this message that the Path number 3's ancestors is trying to send over? What are they trying to say? Let's see. Okay, we don't want that many. Let's see if we can get a more clear. I sometimes find when it comes out in a clump like that, it's not clear enough. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so this transition or change or move is for the better. It's for like a better family life, and you'll learn more about your family from this transitional move. That's why you need to make it, and that's why it's so important for you to do it. You're going to learn more about your family when you move or do this, or learn more about yourself. The Hierophant. Okay, that tried to come up with that clump of cards before. Okay, let's get some more. So the Hierophant can sometimes talk about like I want to say organized religion, but I'm not. Let me have a quick look because I'm not too sure about that. I don't want to push you in the wrong direction, so I don't feel like that's right. But it's a major arcana card, so it's something very significant to you, that will be very significant to you as well within your life. Okay, Hierophant. Institution, a rigid formal system. Tradition, guidance, spirituality, orthodoxy, institution. Okay, so maybe you're moving towards a more like you're moving because of maybe what like your company is relocated, or you've got a job at a big company and that's why you've relocated, or you're moving due to your religion. Maybe you're doing some sort of like what is it called when you go and do like I can't remember what it is, but you know when people go and move abroad to help like their religious sort of not studies but like helping teach other people about their religion, something to do with that. It's more like you're moving to join something or maybe investigate something more. Maybe you want to go and learn more about some sort of religious idea. Okay, then we've got the Four of Wands, the Nine of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so with the Four of Wands, that's generally a good card in the sense they're good and bad cards. But it's more that they're it's a card of celebration, because the card itself on the traditional tarot deck has got two almost like competitors winning an event. So maybe you've won this trip, this change, or this house or something. It's a result of winning, and it's the Nine of Swords. Let me show you. It's like a card of nightmares, and you've been worrying about this. You're worrying about this change already. Your ancestors are very aware of that, and they know that it's causing you some stress, maybe some sleepless nights. You're kind of got a bit of anxiety over it. The problem is, even if you didn't do this now, this traveling, this transition, this change, whatever it is, if you didn't do this now, this change would need to happen at some point in the future. You can't stay where you are forever. You can't be in this situation you're in forever. And it has to happen. And with the Six of Pentacles, that's a card of giving and sort of generosity and some sort of like almost like charity. So maybe you're moving due to you've been given this opportunity, or you're moving jobs, or some sort of like you've been given this kindness. Is like the universe is that your ancestors trying to tell you that you've been given this opportunity as like a gift from the universe, and you're going to make the most of it because you need this change, regardless of whether you stay in this position or this place or this house or whatever forever. You're going to be moving at some point, whether you like it or not. Okay, the world. So whatever this transition may be, it's a completion of a cycle. It has to happen. This cycle has to close out, and it is massive completion of a certain stage of your life. So you could be moving for. Did you see that I dropped that card? Then you could be moving because of you're going to university somewhere or something like that. It's the stage ending, And then you've got the Five of Pentacles. I do think this situation, let me pick up this card, has been causing you kind of a lot of worry and stress, and you've been thinking about it a lot. But you do need to make this transition to proceed in your sort of like life cycle. And your ancestors are kind of giving you that sort of advice over it. Like, you know, it's the next step. It's the thing you need to do. If you stop like transitioning on, you'll just sort of stagnate, and it won't do any good for your sort of spirit. Because I think with the Page of Wands card, you're kind of a very adventurous sort of person. You're very curious over places and ideas and things. And if you were to stay, although it's comfortable, your ancestors are telling you that this part of yourself wouldn't be happy. So let's get some more. Maybe we'll get one more card with these, and then we'll move into the other tarot, see if anything else to clarify it. Anything else? It's a lot of cards there. With the Eight of Cups, yeah. Okay, let's take the Eight of Cups because we don't want too many cards here. And we'll take the Knight of Swords. So the Eight of Cups, in the ordinary sort of like meaning for it, is another card of having to move on and leave things behind and travel. It's another card of travel. I think your ancestors are telling you this sort of like you're going to have this quick situation pop up where you need to travel, and it's important that you do it. It's important that you make that move or go to that place because it's for your development. You need to do it. Okay, let's use these tarot cards to see what else comes up for you, Path 3. What is Path 3's ancestors trying to tell them? I don't want all of these. Okay. Four of Swords. Now, Four of Swords is a card of rest, which is very contradictory. But I think if you're stressed over it all, you should go, like your ancestors' advice is sort of go meditate by yourself and think of everything. Because with the Chariot card is a card of fast action and like control and being sort of like being in control of a situation and yourself and like knowing that as well. And the Nine of Wands, yeah, I think this like situation will test you, and that's all it is. It's a test of your sort of spirit in terms of how like what you want out of life as well. And I think that's telling you to keep going with it. Let me shuffle these and see if we can get better shuffle on it. Okay, what else have we got here? We've got the Seven of Pentacles, and that is a card for here, if your ancestors telling you about more perseverance, like work hard and it will pay off. Like what, maybe even this move or this transition is a reminder of your hard work and that it is paying off and you have worked hard. And from all the different choices you've made, it's sort of accumulated up to this situation where you are like, you're feeling like you've got a decision to make. You already know what the right thing is. And this card, the Hangman, is again another card about taking time out to meditate and reflect on everything. Because you'll make the right decision because it's sort of like that. That's your fate, your destiny. But I think you're worried about making the wrong decision when there is no need to worry. Three of Swords. I don't see it being a love card here. I don't see it in the sense that you're like, I think maybe you're upset over this person who's sending this message. You're upset that they died and you miss them, which is perfectly normal. Yeah, I think you definitely miss this person because this Queen of Wands sort of woman that was in your life, I think it does wake you up at night. You are sad they're gone. And I think they just remind you, they know they're there still and they're still around. The Seven of Swords. I mean, the Seven of Swords is the progression from the Six of Swords. But let me see if we can clarify that. Yeah, I think it's like the Seven of Swords can also be talking about strategy, and with the Lovers card, which is about choices, I think you've made a lot of choices, you've strategized, you planned this out to get to this point where you're able to move on. And I think that's the main thing here. I think your ancestors telling you make this strategy, make this plan, and work your sort of like mind on it, meditate over it, work on it, and then you'll get this sort of results and this movement that you'll want, this action that you want because of all the hard work you've put in over this situation. Yeah, and you've got judgment on the bottom of the deck, and judgment is like a life purpose card. As I know, it's like a lot of different things, but yeah, and it's just fallen off life purpose card, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune after that. It's like this is like destiny. I think that's what it is, and you shouldn't be like worrying too much over it because you've put in the work. You know the choices to make. You've meditated over what you should be doing. Okay, for a final thing, let's get some final practical advice from your ancestors over this situation. Okay. Every time I do a reading here, I always drop these cards. Okay, we've got exercise. So maybe you're being asked here to do some exercise to help you maybe like meditate better and clear your energy. Maybe the exercise to help you clear your energy and refuel your energy as well. What else? Anything else part 3 you should be doing? And challenge yourself. That kind of looks like where this guy's going off to the mountains. Challenge yourself to do better. Don't set limits on your potential. I think whatever this transition is, your ancestors are telling you that this challenge you're facing, this situation you're facing, not chasing, is like a way for you to see how much you can succeed and how high you can sort of fly in your life. And these challenges are like perfect to make you reach your full potential and what you need to like generally just need to be doing. You need to be going after this. So maybe it's within exercise, maybe you like do rowing or something here is sort of reminding you that you have that power within yourself and you should keep going after it. Okay, right, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful, and I hope this person resonates with you. You know who this is and what they're trying to tell you. And yeah, if you like this video, comment down below what you want to see next, what other pick cards you want to see, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Okay, right. I will see you again soon. So bye bye.